Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
And a good Friday to each and every one of you folks out there. And it's always a good Friday where I'm sitting at. Terry Norvelle inside BRIX JAX Beach, our Friday home, the Friday home of that show behind me, the show you're watching, the Young and Norvelle Show. Man, oh man, do we have a lot to get to. Let me remind you, if you're out there right now getting off work, about to get off work, and you're thinking, man, oh man, I live down in the beach area, and last thing I want to do is cook on a Friday, man. I've had a long week. Hey, swing right into BRIX here in JAX Beach and take advantage of the great menu and the great specials. Their standing, famous Friday ribeye steak special, $12.99. That includes two sides, flying out of here left and right. I've been here about an hour, and I've seen a lot of them between lunch and between dinner, but place is filling up right now. And they are pairing the special tonight, and they like to do this on Fridays. They also are offering a seafood special, a redfish special, basically same prices with the sides. So there you have it. I'll tell you all about BRIX, and they are gearing up. They do a super job with football here. Their TVs are laid out great, and man, their staff. I've been to many a Jaguar game here, and it packs out, but they have a staff that works through it, and they do a super job. You're not waiting long. They work with a big crowd. It's a lot of fun here. BRIX JAX Beach. We'll hook up. I think I hear Patrick stirring around. We'll hook up with Patrick Young. A lot of stuff going on, guys. There is some good out of Miami. Tua signs a massive deal with the Dolphins, the largest Dolphins contract in their history. We'll talk about that. Some good news. But goodness gracious, more legal troubles for the Georgia Bulldog football program. Another player arrested in the wee hours of the morning, 3 a.m.-ish this morning. Ra Thomas was arrested. We're about to go through this. This guy is a transfer from Mississippi State 2 years ago. Really nice receiver at Mississippi State. Counted on a lot this year, and some of the legalese and some of the charges just don't sound good. We may have Patrick Young on audio only. I'm not sure. Pat, are you there?
I'm here. I don't know why the video's not up.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Man, I hated, Friday. We're going into the weekend. We were hoping Olympics and Jaguar talk. We've got some sound from Jaguar camp. You kind of want some happy, fresh, fun weekend stories. But, Patrick, I know you're hearing what we all are. It broke about 2 hours ago. There's Patrick there. Shirtless Patrick Young. Whoa. This is not, Patrick, it's not after midnight here. Hold on, man.
Well, we got to get more viewers, and they say sex sells. So I was,
love it. I love it. Patrick Hulk over there. There you go. What do you got there? Better
than yesterday.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. All right, Pat, let me set the stage. You and I have kind of texted a little bit. This broke a couple of hours ago. Another arrest, and this is some serious stuff now, it sounds like. Ra Thomas, wide receiver.
There's silver lining. There is a silver lining.
We'll get to that in a minute. Arrested Ra Thomas, charged with multiple family violence charges, cruelty to children / family violence, which is a second-degree felony, 2 misdemeanor counts of battery, family violence, no bail. The judge or whoever saw him, there has been no bail set. This arrest was about 3:20 this morning, as I understand it. And, Patrick, this is the second arrest since he's been in Athens. He has already been arrested in 2023 for 2 family violence arrests, false imprisonment. I mean, this guy is allegedly getting physical with people and then trying to manipulate. You can't not allow another human being to come and go. I mean, you're not a prison guard, right? This stuff sounds terrible. And on the heels, Patrick, of what? It was only a week ago. It
sounds fake to an extent that, I've been in situations in my life where I just wanted to leave and never had to worry about not getting away from it. And I've never in my mind, I'm not letting this person leave.
Yeah. Well, you're also 6'9.5", ripped up, and you've been a big, strong dude. And I'm a guy. I think some of this has to do with a female, the one
Right.
being manipulated and physically not allowed. And you can't physically not allow. I'm just going to go to it from the male-female thing or the male-child thing. You can't not, you know what I mean? You just can't block an escape point, particularly an adult that wants to get away from you, maybe for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the false imprisonment must have had to do with that wasn't with a child, because that's if it was with a child, I would have speculated that this is possibly a
it sounded like
custody thing.
Yeah, it sounded like the false imprisonment was the arrest, the previous, and in a dorm room where it sounds like he's accused. Ra Thomas from Georgia is accused of blocking the doorway of the dorm, which at that time that would be another young adult, right? That way, and I think it's a female. You can't not let an adult, and in particular an adult female, exit the room or exit the premises if they want to and they feel they need to.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah. I guess going to that silver lining, the only positive is that this is not, if you want to call it a positive in terms of the big picture for Georgia, that this is not a driving related instance, but it's like that almost is completely mitigated because this involves a child and physical abuse.
Yes.
Where I'm just like, I ain't gonna lie, Kirby, my man got to go. My man got to go. You got to get him out of there.
Yeah, and you would think,
child cruelty, Terry.
Yeah, it's tough. That is tough. And again, the timing of everything. Think about it. You've got Kirby Smart. It was last week, right? Last week he's in front of 1,000 media members discussing the number of automobile arrests and indiscretions and things going on, and just raw arrest. And I was talking with Nick, our producer, before we went on the air, and this happens with all fan bases. I'm not piling on Georgia, their fan base, but what you hate when stuff like this happens with a program multiple times, you'll have Georgia fan in a lot of cases going, oh yeah, well, what about this program? Or what about the number of arrests at that program? Well, we're talking about Georgia right now, right? I mean, and the other ones really don't factor in this, right?
Yeah.
Man.
And I mean, he's giving so much ammo for other coaches to use recruiting wise to try and steal or sway a kid from going to Georgia. This is now getting into, how can you go into the living rooms of these 4- and 5-star recruits and transfers and offer them money, but it's like, are you really going to be able to take care of these kids off the field? And that's troubling. It's troubling, man. I hate for that to be considered, but I don't think Kirby is looking at from what you and I have seen. I don't know him personally, but he doesn't seem like a man that just lets kids run rabbit. But the results speak for themselves.
And you mentioned money, and you're talking about the NIL and things like that. I would think that if a player that this still could bite Georgia from that aspect, because if you're a good enough player and Georgia's offered you a nice help set you up a nice deal, well, if you're that good enough player, you've probably got nearly comparable deals at other schools, right? You've probably got comparable. You're not just good in Georgia's eyes. I mean, Georgia players have been recruiting by Florida and Alabama and Tennessee and Ohio State, which plays to your point. It might get to the point where if the dollars are kind of equal, mom, dad, uncle, do you want your kid going to a place where it just seems to happen a lot?
Especially with the playoffs being expanded. So the argument of, there's not going to be as great a chance of your son getting a chance to play for it all.
Yeah.
I mean, there's great coaching, great programs all around. It's hard to win championships. It's hard to win. Like,
really
everyone
is.
Understands that. Even Georgia losing the championship by 3 points cost them their whole season, which I still can't believe. It still drives me crazy. But
and we had Bill Shanks on from Macon, and Bill made it very, very, very clear that the driving situation, that's got to get cleaned up. But he made it clear, you know what? And if you remember, when we had Bill on, he was like, well, you can't really put this all on Kirby's lap. He can't control these kids. He can't be at 2 a.m. saying, hey, I'm, where are you going? Drives, I get that. But at some point in any organization, you've got to look at the leadership, right?
Right.
At some point, you got to go from the head of the snake and start working down.
Well, my thing is, Terry, with that, because you make a great point, and I don't know if we have this information. I'd love to get Bill to talk about this, but are there any instances with the other sports at said university?
Wow.
Because then we can say, okay, it's a only football thing, or it's a whole program. Because then you go, all right, and we look at the AD. Maybe he's falls in line with this, but that's where I'm curious. Are the other sports making some mistakes as well, or is this only a football thing? Yeah,
that is a real good point, and I don't know. And fair or foul, I'm sorry, but Georgia baseball doesn't get as much coverage. Georgia tennis doesn't get as much. Georgia golf doesn't get as much coverage. Georgia women's basketball doesn't. There may be doesn't make it right if there are, but yeah, you may be right. That argument was used by me a week or two ago, kind of around. I remember a Georgia fan. And people were pointing out on social media, well, in the 6 years that Urban Meyer was at Florida, there were 141 arrests.
Was that me?
Well, I think we talked about it a little bit. My first answer to that, and not Terry Gator, I'm trying to protect the Gators because there was stuff that got loose in Gainesville. I get that. But I don't know if we just picked 4 random schools: Ohio State, Tennessee, Texas, and Oregon. And we said, let's get data from 6 years. You've got 6 years worth of 100 and something guys on your roster, right? Year 1, there's 100 and something football guys. Year 2, I don't know what the average. I would imagine there are a lot of arrests in 6 years over a year. So I don't know. Is 141 a lot, a little, on par? I don't know. I don't know. But, man, you got to believe it's heating up in Athens right now. I mean, goodness gracious. And I do feel for Kirby Smart. What else can you do? I mean, I don't know what else you can do. And at some point, do you change messengers? Patrick, I mean, on the game.
Yeah, does Kirby have to hire someone that he maybe already has, or give that, hey, this is your one job.
Whew.
Like, I need you to follow guys around. I need you to be a chaperone, a full-time chaperone.
But I mean,
honestly,
you talk about having trouble recruiting. You would have a hell of a time when all the players start talking. Oh, by the way, if you go to Georgia, when you're at a young place, hang out, having fun, you're going to look over your shoulder. You're going to see, the grad assistant taking notes. You know what I mean? That would kill your recruiting, I think, wouldn't it?
Well, what if it came? Because I hear you. It came from an angle of, hey, I want these kids to enjoy the town, but one thing I want them to know: there's always a safeguard. They're always going to have someone they can text. That will come to get them if they're in a situation, and it's a tough job. It's tough.
It really is. It really is. And
intervene if you need to.
Yeah. And Patrick, it's not only a tough job, it's a tough solution. If the solution was easy, they and everybody would have done it. It's a tough solution.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're trying. I'm just brainstorming now. Like, I can fix this whole thing, but like, that'd be complicated, man.
Hey, we got a lot to get to, Pat.
Especially they're going to have 20 more scholarships next year.
Yeah. How about that? Hey, I wanted to ask about you, Pat. You're coming out of COVID. You got COVID again, and man, you sound and look a lot better. Your voice was a little nasally for the last several days. You sound and look. How are you doing?
I'm doing better. Yesterday, I was trying to just see if I would feel good enough to come on and do the show.
Yeah,
and that's what I was like, Terry.
Yeah,
this thing kicking my butt. It was just all around the coffee. You know, maybe it was I didn't want to hear what Rick Wilkins had to say. That's probably what it was.
I heard Rick Wilkins is looking for you, Patrick. That's all I've heard on the street.
He's looking for me, and who's the guy you killed off that's looking for you? I can't remember his name.
I can't remember.
From Dead or Alive.
Oh, Jack Ham.
Jack Ham. There you go. He's
the former great star who lives here part-time.
Jack Ham, are you dead? No.
I've got to know. I didn't. You guys killed him off, and I was the one that played the game, and I'm like, and then I saw him later that afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. Brian, super dead.
Yes, super
dead as a doorknob.
No, he's very much alive, and what you know, about 90 minutes later, I'm pulling in at a place, and there he is. And some of my buddies were listening to the show that day, and they were going, Terry, you got to go tell him that he was the dead or alive person, and your producer said he was dead as a doorknob. I said, no, I'm not going to say that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to say that. Hey, let's wrap up segment number one. Let me tell you a couple of things we're going to do today.
Have you watched any Olympics? Have you watched any Olympic ceremony?
I have not. I see them on right now, and a lot of rain over there. But boy, I'll tell you, at night it is a beautiful shot. They've had an overhead shot here. The Eiffel Tower is all lit up and all. It looks beautiful at night.
The smoke shooting up the flag. Oh my gosh, that was so pretty.
It was nice.
That was so cool. But this thing just takes so long, man. It takes
so nothing's really. I know they had some preliminary actions already happen a day or two, but the games in essence won't start until tomorrow. Is that right?
Correct.
They'll really get going tomorrow. The games. Hey, let me set a couple things here, Patrick, that we're going to get to. Again, Dolphin fans, NFL fans, big news out of Miami. The Dolphins have announced that they have locked up Tua to the largest contract in Miami Dolphin football history. Get a load of this, Patrick. 4 years, $212 million with 167 guaranteed. Guaranteed. Hey, if you're a guy like Tua and you're guaranteed 167 and you want to, I guess you could buy anything you want on cash, but if you wanted to buy something on payments, do you even have to fill out a application, or do you just show them your bank account? Say, right? I mean, right?
I know, right?
So good news for Tua.
We need to do a credit check.
Exactly, credit check. You know, what kind of cash do you have on hand, sir? Well, in about an hour, there's going to be a wire transfer, and I'll have 167 million at least, if that'll do it. We've got some sound from Jaguar camp. Our Marcel Robinson was out the last couple of days. He caught up with Christian Kirk and Trayvon Walker. Maybe going out of break, we'll hear some of that. Jaguars well underway. The NFL is well underway. I want to get to Trevor Lawrence. Is there any concern that he may have the quarterback yips? We'll get into that.
Interception yips?
Maybe. We want to talk some baseball. We've got our buddy Kade Kistner, who is on the other side of the world on vacation, but he's dying to come on and talk baseball. So if the connections work, we'll catch up with Kade about 4:40. And then Brent Beard, our college football analyst. Brent, I want to get his take on the latest arrest around the Georgia football program. It is big news. Again, this State in Sports history is coming up, and we've locked down the big party night at Spurrier's Gridiron Grille.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Our show, we have 2 tables secured. You'll be at one, I'll be at the other. I'm going to walk down everything you will get. Tickets are very scarce, and the ones that are left are for really late night dinner. They're having dinners that anniversary day. Monday, August 12th, our dinner for our group and our 2 tables is 7:15. We're going to do the show from Gainesville down near Spurrier. We're probably going to be right outside on the band shell right there. And then, Patrick, you're going to have a book signing, I think. You're going to bring a bunch of books. So we'll do our show 4 to 6 on that day of. You'll have a book signing right there until 7. We'll go in. We'll have our 2 tables. You won't believe all the stuff you're going to get if you purchase a ticket. They're going fast. There aren't many left, but we have 2 tables. You can sit at a table with Patrick, and you can sit at a table with me, and we're going to have a big time. I'll tell you about that on the other side.
I'm hoping I get to enjoy the food this time.
Yeah. It's and by the way, I'll tease you a little bit. How about this? And I'll tell you the price of the ticket and things like this. This is a great deal for a Gator fan in your life. Even if it's an early Christmas present, this is going to be one in a lifetime. You're going to get time with Coach Spurrier. Selfies are encouraged. But real quick, I'll tell you more about it. But, Patrick, how about the meal? A delicious high-end dinner buffet with a filet mignon carving station.
Oh, yeah.
That's fancy food.
Filet mignon, a filet mignon.
Filet mignon.
Because, those are like the best, most tender.
Right.
Cut. It's small, but hey, if it's a carbon station, you know me, Terry.
Yeah.
Round and round and round and round.
Sir, you've looped around here 17 times. Hey, I don't see no sign. Right? I don't see no sign. Who are you, the carving station police?
Yeah, who are you, carving station police?
Yes. So, hey, Nick, let's go to break, and if you can queue up, let's hear from Christian Kirk. Haven't really heard from him in a long time with the injury. Hopefully he's running around. Marcel Robinson caught up with Christian. We'll try and catch him as we go to break. When we come back, hey, chat line is open all the time. Nick will let us know if we get some good chats. We would love to hear your thoughts on anything we talk about, questions, comments, or the line. Let's take a break here. Here's some Jaguar sound coming out of our breaks today as we are live at BRIX JAX BEACH. More after this quick timeout.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. BRIX JAX BEACH features all that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at BRIX JAX BEACH, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at BRIX JAX BEACH.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage. It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor, the meat, the love, the community. Our community. Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device, you're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Back here on a BRIX JAX Beach Friday edition. Place is filling up. I'm looking forward to finishing our show. I love these Fridays here, but well, Terry may wrap up the gear and maybe I get reined in, if you know what I mean, and I have to stay here and go get a seat at the bar. You never know. Terry Norvelle, Patrick Young is with us, but we teased it a little bit. Let's hear some Jaguar sound. Obviously, camp is well underway, and our tremendous Action Sports Jax team is covering it as good as you can possibly cover it from a bunch of different angles. Let's hear from the injured receiver, Christian Kirk. Boy, he was just cruising along and then had that kind of awkward twisting injury and was lost for, about a quarter of the season. Hopefully we want to hear from Christian, but we want to see him on the field. Marcel Robinson caught up with Christian, and here's that conversation.
This is your first training camp as a married man. Man, first off, before we get into football, how's married life doing?
Yeah, it's been great. Me and my wife have just been enjoying every single moment of, being in those early stages of being married, and just coming together as one has been really cool. And, we've already grown so much. So it's just been a blessing. And, I really take pride in, being a husband now and, just being my best, for her and, our family.
Is the leave for camp any different? Obviously, you guys have been together for a while, so technically it's not necessarily different, but this is your first time leaving for a camp, as a husband. Was it any different in the household?
I think the part that was different is we've been together every single day for a long time, because you think about it, my season ended early, and, she was with me every step of the way during rehab, recovery, and, I wasn't in the facility for a while, so I've pretty much been in the off season since December. So it's been a long time. We've been together and, just going through a lot of things. And so it's definitely a little harder leaving, I think, because we hadn't been away from each other for an extended period of time. But she's just excited for me, and I'm excited as well, just for this new season and coming back and being healthy.
You're going to have one heck of a honey-do list when you get back.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I try to get it done on my off day so it doesn't compile to September when we're done.
Awesome, man. Well, we're back. Obviously, training camp. This is the first time all you guys kind of get on the grass, as an organized unit, man. Just talk about, the early thoughts, the conversations coming into the building and getting on the grass for the first time that we've seen you.
Yeah, I think it's been good. Obviously, there's a lot of excitement of everybody coming in yesterday, getting back together, seeing faces after a long summer, and then getting out on the field today, and just knowing that, we're starting our journey. You look around and a lot of these guys are going to be the guys that take us to where we want to go. And so it's just kind of building that unity. We talked a lot last night as players about, our vision and who we want to be, and then holding each other to a standard. And I think that's the biggest thing, is holding each other to a standard and getting better every single day.
You just mentioned that your season ended early last year. How has it been, for you specifically, to be able to get back on the grass? You've been doing your workouts and rehab and everything, but to kind of get back on the grass in this space, how has that been for you?
It's been great. To be honest, even during OTAs and minicamp, I wasn't, where I wanted to be, just because I still had some work to do to get my body to where I felt, 100%. And, I did some great work back home in Arizona. I'm pain-free. I feel great moving around there today. And so I'm just really excited because I hadn't felt that way in a long time. So I just know when I'm out there and I'm 100%, I can do some good things. So it's just exciting to be back in that space.
Is it safe to say that you're past that sort of maybe mental hurdle of being back? Because obviously physically you've been right for a long time, but to have that mental knowledge that, hey, I can get out here and do what I do best?
For sure, yeah, because I was in that space where I was just guarded and protected, for a long time, and, not really sure what my body was going to feel or do. And so now I can just go out there and play free.
Talk to me about that room, the receiver room you guys have. It's stacked. It's been stacked year after year, but this year come in, obviously, you, Gabe, bringing in Brian Thomas Jr., talk about, what you've seen and what you expect from this receiving core. Of course, with that guy we'll talk about in a second, throwing you guys the ball.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Obviously having Gabe, who's been in, the NFL for a while and who has done it at a high level, and then, having Brian, who's a new guy with a lot of talent that has a lot to learn. It's just been a cool dynamic, and I definitely don't take the position of being a leader lightly. I love just giving back and teaching guys, and because we have the room that wants to get better. That's the good thing, is we have a lot of young guys that really can, that can play, but you just need some facilitation, from the old guys. Just kind of bring them along, and when they have down days, because that's going to happen in training camp, is you're going to face a little adversity. So it's just on us to bring these guys along, and we're only as good as our weakest link.
Speaking of those young guys, we'll talk about them. Brian Thomas Jr., obviously impressive during rookie camp, impressive during OTAs. Obviously, as you guys kind of go along, he's going to figure more things out. But you guys have always been high on him about where he's at and where his trajectory is. You see him out there running some routes and during some of the plays. You guys kind of coaching him up a little bit. Where is he in terms of that progression that you feel?
Yeah, no, I think he's pretty far along. He's done a really good job of understanding our scheme, understanding his role in a certain concept, and because the athletic talent is there. I mean, he's got it all. He's tall, he's fast. He creates a lot of separation, and so let alone just him from a raw talent standpoint, he's already a mismatch. And so it's just the coaches really trying to throw him in different spots, kind of see what he can do and see how much he can retain. And so far, he's retained a lot of it. So I really like his demeanor. I think he has a great head on his shoulders. And so, like I said, it's just, everything's not going to go perfectly. There's going to be some adversity and things are going to go wrong, but he'll get through it, and it's on us older guys to just help him kind of navigate his way through his first year in the NFL.
Last couple for you. We got Trevor Lawrence talking right next to us. Obviously, your guy, he's Jacksonville's guy now, getting paid. How big of a deal is to see a guy like him get, not only rewarded for his performance, but also be, have that commitment that he's going to be the guy going forward.
Yeah, I think there's nobody more deserving, than Trevor. Obviously, I think very highly of him. He's a great friend of mine, and just been able to see him grow from year 2 to where he is now, all the things that he's endured, all the work that he's put in, and even through some of the darkest times, he never blinked, never wavered, and just continued to just working towards where he wanted to be and putting this team where it needs to be. And that's not an easy position to be in, especially when you're 22, 23, 24 years old. And I always talk about just his maturity is beyond his years. So it was really cool to see him get rewarded in the way that he should have. And I think Jacksonville and the Jaguars organization itself couldn't have made a better decision in committing to him for the next 7 years, 8 years. So just really excited for him, and it'll be a great opportunity for him.
Last question for you. Not just Trevor, but to see Trevor, see Josh, see Tyson, all these guys getting paid, deservingly for their performance, but even bigger, these are guys that are drafted by this team, the younger guys that they've developed and they've shown improvement, which is a really big deal, because that may not necessarily have been the case here, but to see those young guys get rewarded, how much does that help, the overall morale in the locker room?
Yeah, it helps a lot. I think it sends a message too, to other teams around the league. But for a young guy, if you're in this locker room, if you come in and number one, you got to be a good person. Handle yourself correctly, be a pro, be a good teammate. Because you look at all three of those guys, they're three of the most high character guys we have on our team. And so I think that speaks volumes to the type of guys that this organization wants. And because if you have those guys, everybody else kind of falls in line. Especially in those certain groups. So. I think number one for the young guys is just being a pro, being a good person, and then if you go out and handle business on the field, you'll get rewarded for it. So I hope guys use it as motivation, because you look up and you blink, it'll be your turn, and obviously there's a lot of variables that have to go your way, but as long as you control what you can control and you put your best foot forward, then it'll all fall in place.
3 out of 4 high character guys. I put you in there.
Yeah, I guess so.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
This is your first training camp.
How about that? Some good stuff from Marcel Robinson down at Jaguar headquarters. We hope to hear from Trayvon Walker a little bit later here on the program as well. Christian Kirk, boy, as we welcome Patrick Young back. Patrick, one thing I took away from that, I saw a lot of sweat on Christian's forehead, which means he's going. I mean, I'm just guessing by the sweat that he's full go, I think, because my man looked like he'd done some running, which is a good sign, right?
Well, he's had so much time for that to heal.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's been salivating to get back out there. So, and push himself. There's always that little bit of doubt, belief. Can I be that guy again after getting hurt? And, you want to push that and know that well before the season starts. So
yeah,
he's my favorite. He's my favorite player. I love the way that he carries himself, man.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was remember how weird that he was like twisting his body,
And he caught the ball.
and he caught the ball, but it was just a weird. You went, ugh, that didn't look right, and obviously something was not right about that.
Cubic bone.
Say that again. Yeah, yeah.
Cubic
Remember
bone.
that? Remember that? Oh, remember when Doc got talking about that?
Tearing apart from there.
No doubt. Did you notice, though, the first part of the interview, Young Love? Did you hear? Young Love. Oh, he's happy and married. No, they're just young and in love. And, oh, how sweet it is, right?
Yeah, good for him.
Right? Yeah, yeah. That's got to take a lot off, though. You know, I mean, guy like Christian Kirk, big star player, have your fun time as a single guy. But, man, you hit, what is he? Mid to late 20s now. Time to settle. Time to settle. Slow down a little bit. Try to slow down a little bit. Hey, Pat, we're going to take a break here in a moment. We hope to hook up and talk some Major League Baseball with Kade Kistner, our buddy from Sports Illustrated. He's the baseball publisher. He's on vacation, but he really wants to jump on. He's missed us for a couple of weeks with vacation, so hopefully we'll catch up with him. But I got to go back to the next few minutes before we take a break. Patrick, I'm sitting here doing the show, obviously, but we've got TVs all over BRIX, and I don't know what critics or people that pay attention to artsy stuff, but they seem to be knocking it out of the park
Really?
in Paris with the visual part of this. What the opening ceremonies?
I think there's a lot of music involved as well.
They're the visual that I can see. They're using their river tremendously, and the nighttime and the colored lights. And you said they had a big smoke thing earlier. Man, and the way they've got the Eiffel Tower, I guess. Is it the Eiffel Tower right there? And all they've lit everything up. They are, from a visual standpoint, I'm like, man, this is great. It looks great. They seem to have done a nice job. So I'll be interested to see what the people that know that kind of stuff rate them, I don't know.
How do you rate it so
looks
far?
Good. I was saying it looks good to me.
I love it. I still remember the Beijing opening ceremony.
All right.
It was epic. It was one of one.
Yeah. But so far so good. It looks like now it's nighttime. And did you hear that famous river right there that runs right there? Very, very famous river, and I never can pronounce it correctly. I never pronounce it. It's a very famous river, but I don't know if it's the entire river or right there in Paris, because Paris is so densely populated. It's always had a pollution issue. And did you see where finally the mayor went swimming in it like a week ago for the whole world to say, hey, man, we've cleaned up our river. I'm swimming in it. And I told you, Jacksonville had a mayor, Hans Tansler in the 70s, that did the exact same thing. There was this big, back in the 70s, 60s, there were not as many, environmental laws. And businesses could dump sewage right into rivers. And the St. Johns River was just known as this disgusting. And Jacksonville caught up with the times and cleaned up the river. And the mayor took a swim. Now, he came out, and people don't know this from the 70s. He took the swim to show everybody the St. Johns River's clean. I'm the mayor. And he dove in and photo op and all. Now, a week after he dove in, he started growing a third eye right here in his forehead. So maybe he got infected with something in that river, Patrick.
He probably got, I guarantee you, he got inflammation or itchy skin or something. But, there's no way.
So far, so good. I don't know how the heat's going. It was a lot of the opening ceremony that I've been watching here. They've got a lot of rain. They've had a lot of rain. It's been pouring down rain, and none of the people seem to care. They're still out there dancing and singing, and so far, so good, I think, from a visual standpoint for the Paris Olympics. Hey, let's take a break. We hope to catch up with Kade Kistner from Sports Illustrated on the other side, talking some Major League Baseball with Kade. A lot going on. Some trades are heating up, including a J.U. Dolphin is on the move in Major League Baseball. That's right. The Dolphins are represented, and there has been a trade or two today as the trade deadline ends on Wednesday. Do you realize, Pat, as we go to break, this is the final full week of July? Next Thursday is August freaking 1st, man.
Yeah, I know.
Hard to believe. Okay, let's take a break. Hope to talk some
baseball. Month to be over.
I know. I am too, because that means it is football month. Let's talk some baseball on the other side. You're hooked up right here on a Friday afternoon edition of the Young Norvelle Show, coming to you live from BRIX JAX Beach.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. BRIX JAX Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at BRIX JAX Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at BRIX JAX Beach.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage. It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor, the meat, the love, the community. Our community. Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store, either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms, from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Hi, we are up here talking to some of my friends. It's always a fun atmosphere. A lot of people, including my buddy Dean McQuitty. I hope I'm not getting him in trouble, but Patrick, Dean McQuitty hanging out here on Friday. Hey, why are you booing Dean McQuitty? Nobody boos Dean McQuitty, Patrick.
He's there and I'm not there.
He's there and you're not here. He came to see you, but I told him you'll be here soon. I guarantee you that. We hope to catch up with Kade Kistner, talk a little Major League Baseball. But, Patrick, as we're waiting, we started talking about the big event coming up at Spurrier's Gridiron Grille on Monday, August 12th. It is the 3rd anniversary. Tickets are almost gone. It's a big dinner, different dinner times. Coach Spurrier will be there. You and I have put together a neat package. We secured 2 tables, and our dinner time for our tables is optimum. We are at 7:15. We're going to do our show live right there outside Spurrier's from 4 to 6. You're going to then have a 1-hour book signing from 6 to 7, right? And then we will go inside, get our 2 tables, and people can we've put together, here's what you will get if you go through us. You get to sit with us, but here's what you get. You get a little FaceTime with the head ball coach, and selfies are encouraged, which is really cool. This is a Gator maybe once in a lifetime. If you're looking to buy a Christmas present and tell them, hey, you're going to have a Christmas present in August. But here's what you get. A little FaceTime with the head ball coach, selfies encouraged. A delicious high-end buffet with filet mignon carving station. You get a special thank you gift for every guest, including the guys at our tables, our 2 tables. Your name will go into a raffle to possibly win dinner with yourself and Coach Spurrier down the road. He's giving that away. You get a seat at our tables. You'll either sit at the table with Patrick or myself, but we'll be, right next to each other, hanging out. So it'll be kind of a special R2 tables. We'll have it. Patrick, here's the neat thing, and I can't tell you who and how many, but do you know how many past and present Gator players and coaches will be there? I mean, I can't tell you, but there'll be so many.
Got to get this out. Make sure all this gets out to the all the Gator clubs across Florida.
Yeah, definitely. But
and Atlanta.
You're going to meet a ton of other Gator fans. Gator players and dignitaries and coaches. No telling, it's going to be a huge night. And all that is included with gratuity. We went ahead and took care of the gratuity. Everything that you hear right there. And tickets are almost sold out. It's almost over. The ones that are available, you're going to have a late dinner. I hate to say it, but you're going to have an 8:30, 8:15 dinner. We are eating at 7:15. All that, including gratuity, $199. They will go fast. We're just putting it out there. If you're interested, reach out to me via email, or you can, they can X right there, right? They can send me a message on X at Norvelle_Terry, or my email, tnsportsjax@yahoo.com. tnsportsjax@yahoo.com. Reach out to me on Facebook, but reach out because I'm going to get back with each person, and when they're gone, they're gone. We started with 12 tickets, so they'll be gone quickly. Don't miss this opportunity if you're a Gator fan or you got a Gator fan in your life. Patrick, I hear some noise. We may have Kade Kistner.
Oh, you heard some of that? I thought we were talking about the thunder I'm getting over here. Goodness.
Hey, Kade, how you doing, my friend? Where are you, first of all?
What?
Wow. I'm assuming it's beautiful there. I saw some of your photos earlier this week. How about that, Patrick? Pretty good gig he's got.
Oh,
vacation. Still following Major League Baseball.
So what time is it over there right now?
I'm going to go to this thing called the Olympics. What time is it over there?
10:47 p.m. So almost midnight.
Okay, so you're close to Paris time right now.
Yeah, about 2 hours ahead, hour ahead, something like that. So I obviously like you guys and have to stay up till midnight and talk with you guys about baseball. So
I know we appreciate it, and I'm sitting here doing the show, and I'm watching the opening ceremony, and I tell you, I was telling Patrick, from a visual standpoint, they're knocking it out of the ballpark. I mean, they're using the river. They've got lights. You're probably watching it yourself, but man, I think they're knocking it out visually, doing a great job, even though it's raining.
Yeah. No, I watched all of it. It was very interesting doing on the Seine River, and definitely different than kind of coming into a stadium like they're used to, or that we're used to, right? But yeah, it was visually very cool, and nothing like having the Olympics back, and we only had to wait 3 years this time because of COVID.
COVID.
So
Sure. Okay, let's talk some baseball, and I hate to say it, man, but I know they're still hanging on to a wild card spot, but I don't see the Braves finishing this thing off and getting into the playoffs. Everything's just worked against them. Another injury to Albies. It just sometimes, man, it's just not your season, man. I'm worried about the Braves now.
Yeah, Braves has been tough. You lost Albies, and then the Phillies had actually released Whit Merrifield, who's a pretty good ball player. He was owed, I think, about $3 or $4 million, and the Braves went off and picked him up. And it's a good pickup. He plays infield, outfield, kind of all around the diamond. And no kidding. Right before the first game that he's going to take the field for the Braves, he injured his finger or broke his finger or something like that in pregame, and now he's on the IL. And that is just the way that this Braves season is going right now.
And Patrick, remember we talked about that yesterday or the day before. The guy they went to get to plug the gap took a ball off the finger, Patrick, and he's out. My God.
Isn't that something? That's terrible.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Kade, do you see it the same way? I mean, I don't want to write them off. They've got a chance. They're still the number one wild card in the National by 2 games, but I don't think they can hold on. I think there's too many games left, and I just don't see it happening. Maybe I'm Debbie Downer here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they make the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, I really do. I think they're pretty talented. We'll see what happens. I don't think that they're probably a World Series contender anymore.
Sure.
And, talking about, kind of the other Florida team too, not other, Braves are in Atlanta, but, the Rays, as we're talking 2 minutes ago, the Rays just made a big trade. So they sent Zach Eflin to the Orioles. And that's actually the second trade the Orioles have made today. And the trade deadline is on Tuesday.
Yes.
So teams are getting stuff done, early. Zach Eflin, former Philadelphia Phillies pitcher. He's a good pitcher. He kind of has some injury issues, but he's got a lot of really, really good stuff. Middle of the rotation kind of guy. And the Rays are offloading everything right now. So they just traded Eflin to the Orioles. The Orioles earlier actually made a trade with the Phillies, where they sent Austin Hayes to the Phillies.
Yeah.
There you go.
Had to get that
in. So and the Rays too. I mean, they got rid of Arozarena over the night, last night, and so the Rays are offloading. The Orioles are getting better. The Phillies are getting better. We're kind of starting to see teams starting to kind of jockey here a little bit for that pole position as we get into the trade deadline here on July 30th.
How much time?
It heated up.
I know you just said that. I'm sorry. You said it again. The deadline.
Tuesday, I think it is, right?
Okay.
July 30th. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the 30th. And Pat, you and I were talking. We knew it was going to heat up at some point. We talked 2 days ago, where Pat and I were kicking it around, Kade. And today earlier you kind of several deals. And do you smell a couple of 1 or 2 more? I mean, big deals out there? Is it hard to say? Big name?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So in reality too, right? So as we go up to the trade deadline, the next 2 to 3 days are going to be really, really busy. And so that's you're going to kind of see that as we get towards that. You're going to see some more trades happening. Teams are going to want to improve at the margins. They're going to want to get guys for a couple more days and than they would. So if you make a trade now, you might get a guy for 2, 3, 4 more games than you would, other than making a deal at the trade deadline. But the issue right now too is that there's only about 5 or 6 MLB teams that are truly out of contention. And so that means that the demand, right, is really high to get these impact players on the teams for these contenders. And the supply is really low because there's only about 5 or 6 teams that are really out of contention.
Yeah.
And so that means that teams are going to have to be really aggressive before the trade deadline because there's so many buyers. And so the price right now is so high, and pitching's at a premium, whether it's a reliever, the relief market, or the starting pitching market, which is going to be absolutely insane. You're going to have to get rid of, maybe a top 1, 2, and another, maybe top 5 prospect to go get a starting pitcher that might be a mid-rotation guy. And I'm really interested to see what the Rays got in return for Zach Eflin. That hasn't come out yet, but that's going to kind of start to set the starting pitching market as we move through the weekend and into Tuesday.
And Patrick, I don't know if you I don't know if you ever go, kind of piggybacking what Kade just said, so many teams, it's kind of odd. There are so many teams that their record says they're still in this thing. Now, keep in mind, there are 3 wild cards in each league, right? So you got 3 division winners and 3 wild cards. And I've gotten to the point where I click on every day. I'll go to ESPN, and you can click on wild card, and they'll list not the 3 division leaders, but they'll list who is sitting number 1 if the season ended, who would be wild card 1, 2, and 3. You click on, I just happened to see the National League earlier today. You click on the National League wild card guys, Kade and Pat, and it goes 8 teams down. I mean, the Braves, I think, are +2 right now, and the Padres are up there, and it goes all the way down to the Pirates are like 1.5 games out of the 3rd spot. Kade, I think that's what you were talking about. There are so many teams that mathematically you can't throw in the towel right now, can you?
Right. No, not at all. And you kind of mentioned the Pirates, and that's kind of a perfect example, right? Where, they are, a game and a half out of the last wild card spot behind the Padres. And they have a lot of really young pitching, and right now their offense isn't very good. So Pirates can get creative, and they're talking about giving up some, potential starting pitching prospects that are very highly regarded in order to get a big bat back and maybe make up that 1.5 games of ground here with only about 60 something games left. That's nothing. A game and a half in 60 plus games is nothing. And you look over too, even at the American League wild card race. You look at the Rangers, who are 5 games out, and they're talking about buying. And historically, when you only have 1 or 2 wild cards that expand to the playoffs, a team like the Rangers right now, despite them winning the World Series, 5 games out at the trade deadline, you'd be selling. But there's that extra wild card spot. And so you have teams that are 5 games out right now that are, talking about potentially buying rather than selling.
Kade, how long has that extra wild card been in place?
I believe we're into our 3rd year now of the expanded playoffs. Yeah.
It has really worked. And Patrick, I think flipping it over to college football, I think we're going to see the exact same thing with the playoff going to 12 teams and then soon 14, because Kade, Pat and I talk about it all the time. This coming college football season, early November, mid-November, generally there are 3 or 4 teams that have any shot at getting in and really winning right when it was a 14 playoff. Dude, in early November with 12 teams, there'll be 22, 23, 24 programs that still think they got a crack.
They got a chance.
In college football, it's going to be wonderful.
They got a chance.
It's going to be wonderful. Hey, you brought up the Mets a minute ago. What the hell happened to the Mets? I thought they were buried about 6 weeks ago. Now look at them. What the hell?
Yeah, they were terrible, and now all of a sudden, they're right in the thick of it, right? And on top of that, you've got, they're in the second, they're tied, actually, I think, for that first wild card spot with the Braves. And now they've got Francisco Lindor, who, just 2 seasons ago, could barely, hit the broadside of a barn. And now he's, an MVP candidate on the NL side. Like, I don't know what's happened to the Mets, but all of a sudden they've come roaring back, and they're actually a pretty good baseball team. And I hate the Mets, and I know as a journalist can't say that, but I hate the Mets. And but
so
hey,
how do you feel about the Mets?
Well, so.
I didn't catch that.
How do you feel? Yeah. Are you a Yankees guy? Is that why you hate the Mets so bad?
No, I hate the Yankees too. So
you hate we could go 30 more teams. Who do you not hate? Is there one team you don't hate?
Who do I not hate? I don't hate the Rangers and the Phillies. And that's and I got a little bit of a soft spot for the Cubs, but barely.
You mentioned the defending World Series. Speaking of buried, I thought that the Rangers were kind of going the wrong way. You look up now, and they've wiggled their way back into contention.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, they've had a lot of injury. I think that last year was kind of a one-off, and they played well last year. Once they got to the playoffs, they were kind of like this Cinderella team. They're a below 500 team right now, which is probably more of what they should have been last year. They really overperformed, and they just kind of, they hit the lottery ticket last year. So
Yeah.
I don't foresee them doing a whole lot. And also I joke about hating teams. I love all baseball. And I love every
sure.
baseball.
We know that. We know
Yeah.
that. Patrick, I don't know if you've got a question or so for Kade. I've got one more. I don't know, and we'll let Pat. The guy's on his vacation. We'll let him go, but I'll throw one more. And Pat, if you've got one, let us know as well. Just a statement, really. Question. The Yankees have not exactly busted out of the post All-Star game gates. They're scuffling. The Mets have roughed them up. I do think the Yankees have gotten a little bit of a break, though, because the Orioles have also the Orioles have lost a few recently, so they haven't really expanded big. But Yankees, what's the deal? Their general manager was flying around to road games with them, trying to spark them or something. What's going on with the Yankees?
Yeah, the Yankees have lost 4 of their last 10. I'm sorry, 6 of their last 10. And they're on a 2-game losing streak right now. I mean, it's just baseball, right? I mean, you're going to go through these ups and downs. Coming out of the All-Star game, out of the All-Star break, you kind of never know what's going to happen. You give guys some time off, and sometimes that sounds really nice, but a lot of times, it gets guys out of their rhythm, right? They're not going up to the plate every day. And so I think the Yankees, they're very talented, both, rotationally as well as, their position guys. So I think it's going to be a pretty tight race, between them and the Orioles. I mean, they're only separated by 1 game right now, or 2 games. So, it's going to be a really tight race all the way to the finish for these guys. And if you're a Yankees fan, there's probably nothing really to worry about. They're going to make the playoffs, and they'll probably get a home game out of it too. So,
what would it mean for the Dodgers to make the World Series, potentially win it, without Ohtani having to throw a ball?
Well, that would be nuts, right? I mean, the Dodgers are, one of the best teams in baseball. They're sit right behind the Phillies for the second best team in the NL, and Shohei is probably the best baseball player of all time, and he's really only playing at half speed right now. He's just just hitting the ball, and he's hitting it really well. And there's even talk that maybe the Dodgers don't even bring Ohtani back to pitch next year. Ever again, right?
How about that?
They win the World Series.
How about that? Yeah.
And so, like you said, Pat, like if they win the World Series without Ohtani ever throwing the ball, like why would you risk injury to that type of player?
So that's a real good point. Hey, shame on me. Speaking of Ohtani, and I know we're keeping you too long.
No, you're fine.
Shame on me. The All-Star game, obviously I think he was in the 2-hole. And I think he walked his first at bat. Then he hit the dong.
Right. So
he gets on base, and shame on me. The commentators did a good job. He's leading off first base, gets the walk, and they go, "Yeah, Ohtani. In addition to everything else, he's got 29 stolen." I'm like, "What? He's got 29 stolen bases?" Just ridiculous. And the guy from the Mets, the Reds, the shortstop, he was at the time leading baseball with 49. So Ohtani's got, 20 less than the guy. He's stealing bases too, man. I mean, that's young. Cool. That's young Barry Bonds stuff.
Well,
man.
what's great about that is a guy that is saying, all right, I can't do everything I want to do to help this team win. Let me find something else I can bring about to this team.
I mean,
Kade, that's Mookie Betts going to shortstop.
Right. It really, Kade, it's like if you're facing Ohtani and you luckily hold him to a single, the damn guy can turn it into a double.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
He's having fun on the base paths, and you can see the videos of him, interacting with his teammates and the fans, when he does something really cool, like stealing the base, or, legging out that single, legging out that double, right? That should have been a single. And, he's doing everything right now. And he's just such a fun player to watch. And, the other thing I really, really respect about him is, Ohtani and Bryce Harper of the Phillies are kind of both, taking the lead as this, vocal duo on getting Major League Baseball players the ability to play in the Olympics come 2028, which is kind of a really big thing right now. Yeah. And so Ohtani's like, wait, what do you mean we can't represent our country? And Harper tried, when he signed with the Phillies, he tried to put in his contract that he would be able to play at the Olympics. And unfortunately, MLBPA and that mafia were, not allowing him to kind of put that language in there because, you can't do that. But, both of these guys, that are going to go probably finish 1 and 2, and I don't know how it's going to finish out, but these guys are going to finish 1 and 2 in the NL MVP voting. Are like, why can't we play in the Olympics? This is ridiculous. And so
the timing doesn't work out real good, does it? Where it falls at.
Right, exactly. But we can, MLB could kind of get rid of the All-Star game, if you will. And then you can kind of look at, maybe starting the season a couple of days early, extending it a few days in October, right? That kind of thing. Like it would be MLB 6 years ago is we want to make this a international sport. We're going to go play in London and do all this other stuff.
Good point.
And then they go, wait, the Olympics? Nah, we're not going to do that. Like,
Boy, that's a great point. I mean, that goes hand in hand with trying to expand internationally. Put your game on in the Olympics, let the world see your game. Hey, Kade, thank you, buddy. I know you're on vacation. I hope we can, around your schedule, double dip some baseball and Olympic talk as you're covering the.
You got to tell us some cool things you experience.
Do you have specific events you're covering in sports?
So I'm actually just going as a fan. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going as a fan. I could, but I said I want to go as a fan, so I'm going to hit up some beach volleyball, couple soccer matches, some of that flag football stuff they're doing, and then I was a Division I track and field athlete, so I'm definitely gonna catch some track events. So
nice, good for you, man. You deserve it. Good for you, and thank you for your time on your vacation, and safe travels. And I hope we visit soon, and I hope we catch up with you in the States as well, buddy. Thank you so much, Kade.
Likewise. Thanks.
My buddy Kade Kistner from Sports Illustrated. How cool is that? Vacation and then a double vacation. He's going to the Olympics. How fun would that be, man?
He's doing it right.
Yeah, he does. Pat, stay where you're at. Let's wrap up hour number 1. We'll come back, kick off hour 2. Fun Friday show. They're all fun from BRIX JAX Beach. Plenty more. We're going to try and talk some more college football and dive back into the Georgia Bulldogs situation. Another Bulldog arrested. It was ugly. According to the allegations. We're going to try and hook up with Brent Beard. He's having some storm issues, so we hope we can catch up with Brent and dive into it. For you people not aware, we'll tell you what has happened to a Georgia receiver, Ra Thomas, arrested early this morning. We'll talk about that on the other side.
Here you go.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. BRIX JAX Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at BRIX JAX Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at BRIX JAX Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage. It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor, the meat, the love, the community. Our community. Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store, either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms, from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
All right, folks, let's get back into it. Hour number 2. Sometime we have to get some bad stories on. It's not always fun and games in the world of sports. Brent Beard joins us. Of course, Patrick Young, Terry Norvelle here. It is a Friday edition from BRIX JAX BEACH. Brent, really kind of we had already scheduled to have you on today, and was kind of going to hope it's, we're closer to August, we're closer to camp's opening, but more just troubling news out of Athens, Georgia, with with Georgia Bulldog football players. Another arrest early this morning. Ra Thomas, a transfer from Mississippi State from a couple of years ago. Good player at State, good player at Georgia, and they expect a lot from him this year. Brent, I don't know if you've got your hands around it. This is the second time he's been arrested since he's been in Athens. Some serious charges, multiple family violence charges, cruelty to children / family violence. That's a second-degree felony. About a year ago, he had a couple of other family violence situations, not letting somebody leave their premises, things like that. Brent, what do you make of it? And this is more than just, I think, a bad decision to drive. I mean, this is physically harming on purpose another human being, it sounds like. What do you make of all this, Brent?
Yeah, guys, good to be with you. This is a rough story. Now, what I can update you with, he has been suspended indefinitely. And this had to happen.
Sure.
Frankly, when you've got domestic violence with this, and again, he will get his day in court. To be fair with him, particularly if there are children involved, man, you can't fool around with stuff like this.
No.
This has got to be dealt with. Now, for what the three of us do, as far as on the field stuff, I mean, he was a starter. He's a senior. But, guys, this may be a situation to where they make an example out of him.
Yeah.
And he's shown the door.
Yeah.
In this situation. Now, look, I just added this up on the on their spring roster for Lindy's magazine. Georgia lists, and they've got them in positions. Georgia lists 22 wide receivers.
Is that right?
So the thing is, if you're without a wide receiver, that may not hurt you on the field. I mean, they've got obviously Dominic Lovett, and they've got Dylan Bell and guys like that.
Yeah.
But the thing that the three of us have been talking about, number one, when you get to this point, it almost goes over your head if you're the head football coach.
Really
right?
does.
It goes the athletic director, probably even goes to the president. I'm not saying they spend a lot of time on it, but I'm just telling you, when it gets to that level, you don't want it to go up the ranks like that. So, yes, indefinitely suspended. But guys, again, what Kirby hates with this, and the three of us understand where he lives with it, stuff like this actually hurts his recruiting. If anything does, something like this would actually hurt that part of his game.
Patrick, that's what you were alluding to that earlier.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, you know, it's really tough to already get these kids to come to your school when money's a thing. And now the question of character development, character prevention, growth, decision making, and obviously these are all choices that these players are making on their own.
Yes.
But still, it's and a good thing that I brought up earlier with Terry. You know, is this only a Georgia football problem, or is this a Georgia athletics problem?
Yeah.
Is this? Are there any other sports that are having these type of issues? I hope not. I hope that it's isolated. So usually when it's isolated, you can try to get to the source of it. But it's really baffling. I feel bad for Kirby Smart, but I don't think he deserves what's happening. But there's something is not connecting here.
Yeah.
And we got to they got to figure something out.
Well, Brent, let me throw this out, and maybe you two are more versed. I'm not real versed in the legal system. I don't know if it's just because there are it's a physical allegation against other other people, but I saw there has been no bail set. It wasn't like he got arrested like at 3:23 a.m. this morning, and no, he's still in jail, as I understand, because the article says no bail. And I don't know if that's normal for this, or does that mean the preliminary report by the responding officers, it was so egregious? I don't know if that's a red flag or not, but no bail. It's not like he got bailed out, and I don't know. It's just a tough situation. What Patrick alluded to as well is, a lot of people may say, well, wait a minute, this won't, Georgia's got winning history recently. They've obviously, we know, got a nice financial package that they can, put together. Well, we pointed out off of what Patrick said, if you're a hotshot player and Georgia's talking to you and Georgia has a nice financial package, Georgia may have a few more dollars, but other programs have in the ballpark of that same financial package. So at some point, it may be, okay, dollar for dollar is the same, but gosh darn, mom or whoever guides this kid, the next kid down the road, mom, dad, uncle, brother, it's dollar for dollar pretty much is a wash, but gosh darn, do I want to go get mixed up in that Georgia red and black eye, if you know what I mean.
And see, this is Ron-Ra's second situation, and we've got to separate them because of the law here. And again, in fairness, we don't know what all this is. I mean, it could be he said, she said type thing. And in the end,
it's all allegation.
Right. But here's the two things. And then I've got a question for Pat on this is number one, and we talked about this the other day, this would be, if I remember the math correctly, this would be the 25th incident that they have had since 2023. And my question here, and I'm being realistic about this, Pat's got good parents and they've got a level head here, but I'm just wondering if you're, and this is to Terry's point, if you're going to University of Georgia and you're seeing these numbers and you've got parents or guardians or whoever, and they sit down and bring this up, how much, guys, how much of an issue is this in recruiting?
Major issue.
That goes to the family.
It'd be a major issue. It'd be a major issue.
Guys, a little bit like the FSU ACC stuff, and FSU is the first game of the year, so you're gonna have some of your advanced stories coming out, print and electronic, and the advanced stories are going to be, well, there's nothing on the field, there's a little bit of practice, but I know what we can do. Let's do that battle between the ACC and FSU. So there's going to be a lot of stories on that. The advanced stories, I call it, these next 3 weeks of camps. Well, Georgia's about to catch the same thing.
Yeah.
Georgia's about to get to camp, and all the scrutiny and all the good number of media members that follow Georgia football. That's generally a good thing. They are covered. They're a big-time program, as good as anybody. They're covered. Well, there's going to be some practice field stuff, but you're going to have 3 weeks of guess what they're going to dig up.
Yeah.
The lawlessness at Georgia. When's it going to end at Georgia? This is going to be a mess for about 3 weeks because they've got to write and talk about something. And you don't have games yet, but you're being pressured. Hey, let's get some Georgia football out there. Georgia football. Okay, well, what's the biggest thing to happen? Oh, they had another great recruiting class. Well, they always have a recruiting class. Well, man, the arrests have not stopped. And, Pat, there's your stories. And everybody's going to do one.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And you hope that it can go away in the sense of it's not happening anymore and you can just get back to football. But, like, going back to how Brent set it up, I'm just like, the foundation of all of this college recruiting is, yes, of course, there's the fluff, the money, the potential to go to the NFL.
Sure.
But as a parent, can I entrust that I released you?
Right.
Release my child into your hands for these next few years, and that they're going to come out better. And again, that's a lot of pressure to put on a coach, because at the end of the day, the kids make, you make your own decisions.
Yeah.
But that is the foundation still, or even though it's not being talked about as much character-wise. Like, that's why I was like, when Chris Beard, the Ole Miss current head basketball coach, after his thing at Texas happened, even though he was never charged or whatever, I was just like, gosh, you feel comfortable enough to send your kid there right away?
Wow.
And he did a great job recruiting-wise at Ole Miss.
And guys, here's another thing to Terry's point. See, they're going to Atlanta to play Clemson. They're going to Tuscaloosa to play Alabama. They're going to Austin to play Texas. And then in November, they may have a absolute free-for-all with Ole Miss. Now, so at what point during the game, and all three of us know this, and look, we're not trying to beat George up here, but this is reality. At what point during those are major games in front of how many millions of people are going to be watching those games, and that is one of the biggest stories, unfortunately, that's going to come out in those games.
Yeah. It's tough, and I don't know how much this should factor, but because again, Kirby Smart's in such a tough spot, but you are the leader of the organization.
Yes,
and I always talk about, at some point, if enough negative things happen to the organization, you can try and this and that and a different solution and different approach. But at some point, be it retail store, be it restaurant, be it politics, be it something, you have to go to the head of the snake at some point, don't you? And what about Kirby? And again, this should not factor, but he's got to be a nervous wreck right now.
Yeah.
I mean, when he puts his head on a pillow, he's got to be a nervous freaking wreck.
Yeah.
When his eyes open at 6 a.m, right?
Checking that phone first. I mean, his cortisol just got to through the roof.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And look, he is, and look, to Terry's point, they open practice, let's say Wednesday.
Yeah.
Now, he is probably on his hands and knees hoping that phone doesn't ring at 3:22 a.m. But between now and Wednesday for something else to go on.
But, I mean, I think we all talked about this, Patrick and Brent, when the most recent driving situation popped up a couple weeks ago. Man, if you go tackle it from the parent has a 18, 19, 21, 22-year-old, child or children, you can preach at home.
Yeah.
And I mean, you don't spank a 21-year-old. You don't, right? You don't pop them on the hand. I mean, you can preach and preach, but you can't lock your kid up, right, in the house. And the kid goes out, even if they're of age or just underage, right? They could be 17 or they could be 19. But if your kid does dumb things, are you totally responsible for that? Or I don't know. It's a tough call, but
it is.
I mean, Brent, would there ever be a situation where, obviously, if these allegations are true, he's off the team? I mean, some of these have felony next to them. The word felony, not misdemeanor. He's off the team. They just ran a guy off the team for driving that was a backup guy. Would it ever be on? Would knocking Kirby off the sideline for a couple of games this season, would that ever be I don't know if that's unprecedented. Would that do anything? Would that show anything?
And look, but I will say this, what you're beginning to see now more, and we're not saying this is good, bad, or indifferent, it's just the way it is that question is being brought up on Twitter is at some point, regardless what school it is, when you've got almost out of control numbers, this falls into the coach's lap and what you do there with the coaches. And this is something we talked about, guys, golly, maybe a month ago, in the thought that's come up is, do you take 10 scholarships away?
Yeah.
Or I don't know what it would be appropriate in this situation.
Yeah.
Frankly, what you need to do is send Benita Young up there, and she'd straighten this out in a day or two.
Well, two things before we break. We talked about the scholarships. Who is that really punishing?
Right.
You know, you want to be careful. You don't want to punish the law-abiding, walk a straight line group of players.
Yes.
Who is that punishing?
One thing that I was ruminating on as you guys are speaking, one thing that helps Kirby a lot is that there's no type of cover-up.
Yeah.
Associated with all this stuff.
Yes.
If there was, that would definitely
make
things
all
a lot different. He's been very transparent and open about it. You know, not to say that Urban wasn't, but Urban situation, you find out later that how many arrests during his tenure.
Yeah.
You're like,
man,
this was never addressed.
Going back to what I was saying, at what point do you even consider maybe you sit the head coach down for a couple of games? A big flaw in that, I just answered my own question. If Georgia was going to say, okay, we've kicked some players off, and our head coach, he is the head of the organization, we're gonna voluntarily sit him down for 2 games. Well, the problem if you do that is, you're admitting, okay, he's got to take some culpability. The next issue, if there is one, the whole world's going to say, well, you've already suspended him, now you got to fire him.
Right.
You've backed yourself into a now you got to fire him situation. Brent, I know we kept you on. Can we keep you one more quick segment?
Sure.
Let's take a break, and maybe we can get to some nicer stuff.
Absolutely.
Brent Beard will stay with us here. We'll talk some more college ball and kind of get away from the Georgia stuff real quick as we're trying to next week is camp week, really. I mean, we start the month of August next week. That means college football. Let's stay with us here. More to go, about a half an hour left on a Friday edition of the Young Norvelle Show from BRIX JAX Beach.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. BRIX JAX Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at BRIX JAX Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at BRIX JAX Beach.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage. It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor, the meat, the love, the community. Our community. Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
The Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jacks app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jacks Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Let's spend a few more moments with Brent Beard here as we want to talk about some happy, fun college football stuff, as that's where we're at on the calendar. Patrick Young, of course, is hanging around. I'm Terry Norvelle at BRIX JAX Beach. Brent Beard, the calendar is about to switch into August.
Hallelujah.
Most camps get going August-ish, when-ish?
Well, a lot of camps get going like Wednesday.
Okay.
Is one thing. I know Alabama starts then, and I'm sure Gators, Bulldogs, and so forth. In other words, here's the deal. It really doesn't matter when they start. Everybody gets the famous 29 practices.
Is that what it is?
However you want to set that up. But here's the thing you want to look at is it's like the second week. That second Saturday, you're going to have your first scrimmage, and that's going to set your depth chart. And your second scrimmage is coming up a week or so after that, and that's going to basically go with your special teams and things of that nature. So, as we've been talking about, if you're one of these tweener players, the last thing you want to do is get in trouble between now and the next 3 to 5 days. And be relegated to the scout team and have to win your way back up.
No doubt about it, Brent. And Patrick, they I don't know if they did this in basketball when you were at basketball, but Brent, you can speak to this a little bit. The NCAA has really stepped in, particularly with football. You've got X amount of practices, but there are marks where your first 4 have to be in shorts and shell. You can't go pads until the 5th day. You can't go back-to-back. There's something in there, Brent. You can't go back-to-back in contact for a while. They kind of wean them in, don't they? Now
They do.
over the 20-something days.
Yeah, absolutely. No question. Now
And
they'll
this
do.
is and Pat, you and I've kicked this around. This is a dicey time for the NFL and college football. I don't know if y'all seen the last couple of days with all the NFL camps open. There have been 2 or 3 blown ACLs already. It happens every.
I know, man.
It happens every single camp.
I don't get it, man.
Well, it's because I think these 3 weeks or 4 weeks you get, these are the only real practices that you go pretty hard.
Yeah.
Right? Practice during the season, you don't go real hard.
No.
And this you got to hold your breath this time of year, man, NFL and college, because there are going to be, Brent, I think you and I used to kick this around in Division I football. There's a guarantee there's going to be out of the, let's just say the big 65 schools that are coming to camp right here starting next week. It's pretty much guaranteed there's going to be 30 blown ACLs somewhere out there in preseason. It's just going to happen, man. You know.
Oh yeah. Well, and we've got Florida State and Georgia Tech obviously already practicing. If you're in week 0, you're practicing.
Yeah.
Right now, my brother does sports radio up in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, and North Alabama is practicing this week because they're playing week 0. So there are a lot of teams who are doing that. And to Terry's point, the real frustrating thing is if you're a football player is if you get one of these they're all bad, but if you get one of these non-contact things, I mean, and I'm sure it happens in basketball too, right, Pat?
Not as often. It's not
really frustrating.
Yeah. I remember the main guys that it derailed Robbie Hummel. If you remember him at Purdue.
Yeah, the Purdue guy.
Oh man, he tore his in the season, came back, and the first day back in training camp tears it again. You know, and
that's brutal, man.
Really unfortunate.
Really is.
That reminds you of like Marcus Lattimore, guys like Marcus Lattimore that just, you know, they're blowing the same injury multiple times. You know, like how does that happen? That's just short straw.
Yeah, I hope Nick Chubb can come back.
Yeah. Oh my! And what a freak of nature he is. I mean, Nick Chubb is not supposed to be where he's at physically right now.
Yeah. And listen, you know, this will be an interesting question for Dr. Bates, and you may have asked him this already, is there anything that a athletic staff could do to tell who is really susceptible to an ACL, MCL type
we've
thing?
picked that around, Patrick, haven't they? There's not really you can't go into a non-injured part of the body and look around, right? So yeah, and Patrick and I have even talked to Dr. Bates about, I guess, your ligaments and tendons, they are what they are. You can't really, let's go in there and make them thicker, and they're not a muscle. They're not a muscle.
Right.
They are what you're born with, right? And Patrick, your tendon may be thicker than mine, or vice versa. And yeah, it's tough. Brent, I want to throw something at you. I think the right college football programs have dropped the ball this year. And let me set the stage. Week 0, FSU plays the first real game.
Yeah.
August 24th. Obviously, that's a Saturday. The following Saturday is the 31st of August, and that's everybody gets going. Okay, Brent. After FSU plays on the 24th, that Saturday, hey, who's that? Who's your friend?
This is Chino. For whatever reason, Chino loves podcast, and he loves to hear Terry Norvelle and Patrick Young. And when you guys are on, he jumps up here and wants to make an appearance.
Look at Chino.
So this is 16-year-old Chino.
Oh, what a doll.
Okay.
What a doll. All right, Pat, Brent, where I was going, if you're the right side, this is not for the big boys, the biggest. But if you're Kentucky, if you are North Carolina State,
right?
If you are, that level of Power 5, Power 5, but you're that level, I would have August 29th and August 30th. Right? That's Thursday, Friday before the bigs. There's nobody of note. I would have, if I'm Kentucky, I would have gone to somebody and said, I want to play on that Thursday and that Friday. There are games on those 2 days, but there's nothing of significance.
Right.
Brent, I think I would have, if I'm NC State and I'm playing Kentucky anyway, I'd say, hey, why don't we move our game to Thursday or Friday and get a bunch of eyeballs?
Yeah, I agree. Well, and look, here's another thing that is happening is, and that's going to be a real help, is we're having not just 1 but 2 bye weeks, and I think that's going to help these players tremendously.
Oh yeah.
Now you've got Florida State. That, as we talked about, Florida State has 3 bye weeks.
Yeah, they have a weird schedule.
They do.
Pat, I could dig it up, but I'm too lazy, and we're getting close to 6 o'clock. Patrick and Brent, I think you concurred. I think this year FSU's schedule, they play 3 games that are not on Saturday.
Correct.
Yeah, you're right.
Isn't that weird? 3 of their 12 scheduled are not on a traditional Saturday. That's weird, man.
Yeah, they play Monday night against Boston College on Labor Day.
I think they've got a Thursday and a Friday.
They do. Absolutely, yes.
How about,
but I tell you guys, the thing we're going to see more and more of for college football is, and the administrators won't like this, but we're going to see more and more, like the NFL, college games on different nights of the week. That's coming.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
don't mind it. You just hate when they're awful games. They're awful games, man.
Patrick Young, did you see where Pat McAfee's back on game day?
Of course he was going to get back.
Yeah, he's coming back. You saw that too, Brett, right?
Florida State's got Duke on a Friday on the 18th.
Okay.
And then let's see. Their last one. They got Notre Dame at Notre Dame. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I think they play. And Brent, you were confident, right? FSU plays a Monday night game, a Thursday, and a Friday night game.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever heard a Power 5 team do that.
Oh yeah.
Charleston at home. That's a Sunday night game.
Yeah.
Charleston Southern.
How about that? How
about that? Why would Tua not get paid more than Trevor Lawrence? Has Tua not had a better career thus far than Trevor Lawrence?
You could say that.
Numbers wise.
For what Pat's talking about, Tua, it was announced today, 4 years, $212 million deal, $167 guaranteed. Biggest contract in Dolphins history.
I'm not saying he's got to be number 1, but shouldn't he,
Brent, has he been, you follow Alabama a lot.
Joe Burrow, step above Trevor right now.
Has Tua underperformed to what you thought in the NFL, or was he, he's a little dude, man. I never thought he was going to be a star in the league. What do you think about Tua's pro career so far?
Well, I'll say this: this is amazing, but when Tua was healthy, he was the best quarterback in Alabama history. He was that good. Now, now I'll say this: Bryce Young is almost as accurate as he is. Bryce Young doesn't have anybody around him. That's the problem. But I'm just telling you, when and Patrick has mentioned this before, the great ones make it effortless. And Tua can do that. Tua can sling it 50, 60, 70 yards, and he looks like he threw a 5-yard pass.
I know, Brent, going back to what you just said about the best in Alabama history, I know when I watched Bryce Young and Tua at Alabama, there were times I go, are they that accurate, or some of these just luck? They both. They had great receivers, and they had big offensive line, but we're not talking swing passes. They were throwing passes down the field, and you're going, are they that accurate, or are they that lucky?
Yeah.
They really were.
We weren't talking about, short swing passes like Tebow get the ball to Percy Harvin, let him go for 45 yards.
Right.
But
guys are putting lasers.
I thought they both passed the ball alike at Alabama. They were deathly accurate, man, I thought. And, it happened so many times when they were at Alabama. You go, it's happened too many times. This isn't luck. You can't get lucky. 80 times with these great passes over 3 years. Just drop them in a bucket, man. Drop them in a bucket.
Well, and you remember the two of his finest moments coming in the second half of the national championship game, and on 2nd and 26, just picking up Devonta Smith, who obviously won the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah.
But I mean, just to Terry's point, just absolutely dropped it in his hands.
Patrick, you remember how that play happened? 2nd and 26. Tua took he was just getting in the game. Like, he took a bad sack, didn't he, Brent? He took a sack he couldn't take. 2nd and 26.
The next play.
Wow. And
next play was a touchdown, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Overtime touchdown, and it ended like a baseball game ends. You don't know it, and all of a sudden, bam, it's over. Brent, we kept you, speaking of it's over, we kept you way too long. Thank you so much for sticking with us here. I know you were battling a storm, and we appreciate it, buddy. Have a good weekend, and, of course, we'll talk ball with you next week.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll leave you with this question to ponder. One of the fascinating things for Florida is what are they going to do with DJ Lagway starting next week? Can you look? There are going to be people lined up at the fence, aren't they, guys, to get a look at him and see what he can do?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And my understanding is that they've got a package for him. Now, look, he's not going to be the star this year. They got to starting quarterback who's really good for a reason. But there are all kinds of fascinating questions that we're going to be looking at over the next few weeks.
No doubt. Hey, there goes
Tino.
There's the star of the show. Good Lord, that's a big cat.
That's a tail.
We'll let you go. I think you got your hands
full. You made Terry
man.
sad, Brent. He doesn't have any animals anymore.
I may remedy that over the weekend.
Yeah, good.
You never know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brent Beard. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and kind of put a wrapping touch on a fun Friday, man. A lot of breaking news, some good, some bad, and a great crowd here. Boy, they know what they're doing. If you're in the area Friday night, man, nobody wants to cook. Come enjoy the great specials, including the steak here at BRIX JAX Beach. One segment left. We'll wrap it up and head for home on the other side, folks.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. BRIX JAX Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at BRIX JAX Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at BRIX JAX Beach.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage. It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor, the meat, the love, the community. Our community. Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Let's put a bow here on this Friday edition from BRIX JAX BEACH. Patrick Young, Terry Norvelle, Nick producing a lot this week. We appreciate him filling in. Zach will be back with us next week, of course, along with the rest of the gang that helps make this show happen. I want to thank, before we get out of here, Kade Kistner, our baseball guy who came on vacation on the other side of the world. Brent Beard, of course. Marcel Robinson for that wonderful package he had. I hope you enjoyed hearing from Christian Kirk. And Patrick, kind of wrapping up the news of the day, Ra Thomas, wide receiver for Georgia, arrested early this morning on some domestic allegations. The second time he's been arrested, serious allegations. We'll see how it plays out, but not a great look again for Georgia football with the law. Tua signs a massive contract with the Dolphins and the Olympics, Patrick. The Olympics really get started tomorrow. Yeah. I'm not a must-see guy. I won't go. I got to be home Tuesday at 2. But I'll peek a little bit here and there.
Well, they started 5 a.m., 4 and 5 a.m., Terry. So,
ooh.
And do you have Peacock?
I don't think I have that. No, is that something you got to buy extra? I don't know if I have it. I don't think I do.
Yeah, Peacock will have if you're looking for, specific sports, specific events, they'll have all that coverage on those.
I do want to catch Snoop and his commentary because I'm a big Snoop guy. I like him a lot. I think he's funny. I think he's smart. Do you get the feeling, and I don't know this, Patrick, I don't want to put you on the spot, is he going to be in studio or do you think he'll be on some of the sites? I wonder how they're going to use Snoop.
I think he'll be in studio. He's best in studio.
Yeah.
He's awesome. I mean, he could do anything, but I think give that dude as much FaceTime as possible. He is great in the studio.
Yeah. Are you going to pay much attention to basketball or wait until it gets toward the gold medal?
Yeah, I am, because it's kind of cool. I played in Greece, so there were a few guys on the Greece boat. They were the first nation to come out where I recognized a few guys on that. So I look forward to seeing some of those other games play out. Is the U.S. going to actually turn the switch on now? Because they said the time is now. So let's see what happens.
I think they open up. I thought I saw a moment ago they open up Monday against Japan. So they should handle Japan, I think. But I think that's when they open up. The one thing about the Olympics, though, it tends to drag on to me. It's 3 full weeks, man, and it tends to drag on. I really like the track and field, though, as well. I love the track and field stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No. With Sha'Carri and everything that happened with her a few years back,
the sprinter.
She made a mistake, and I don't know if the IOC is ever going to not make marijuana not part of what they consider, because I don't think it helps you perform better at all.
Yeah.
But it'd be exciting to see her. It'd be exciting to see who's the other guy? Noah Lyles. He's one of one, man.
Yeah.
I saw Michael Johnson. Did he get in trouble? He got in trouble.
He did
back in the day.
Yeah, I think he did, definitely. But boy, he was fun to watch. Hey, as we get out of here, a reminder: if you're a Gator fan, if you got a Gator fan in your family, and if you want information, we talked about it. We have 2 tables. Our show, the Young Norvelle Show. Patrick will be at a table. I'll be at a table. at Spurrier's Gridiron Grille. The 3rd anniversary comes up Monday, August 12th. Almost sold out. We went ahead and secured 2 tables. Our dinner time is 7:15. We're doing our show down there on that Monday. You're going to get an autographed book, one of Patrick's books, just for being part of our group. There's all kind of special things you're going to get, and tickets are gone almost. So we secured some. If you want information, reach out to me. You can send me a X right there, or you can email me, and I'll get some information out to you. We've got about 10 tickets.
We need to make a little flyer to promote that and get it out to the Gator clubs.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do, and I'll try and get that going. But if you want some information, my email is tnsportsjax@yahoo.com. tnsportsjax@yahoo.com. It'll be here soon. It's going to be a big time. There should be a bunch of former Gators, current Gators, dignitaries. I mean, Coach Spurrier will have them rolled out. It includes you'll meet the head ball coach. Selfies are encouraged. We're going to have a big time doing our show there on that Monday, and I'm really looking forward to that. So if you want information on the big anniversary that we are going to have 2 tables at, give us drop me an email, get in touch with me anyway on any of the social platforms. Just reach out. I'll get in touch with you, and we'll go from there. tnsportsjax@yahoo.com. Patrick, I had a bunch of other stuff. Some of these shows, the Ocho, they have a bunch of Seldom Seen Sports, August 1st to the 4th. I want to go over those sports.
What we got?
All kind of crazy stuff. Car jiu-jitsu, where 2 people fight inside a car. Jiu-jitsu, all kind of stuff. But we haven't had time to get to them. Alternative viewing, if you don't want to follow the Olympics, August 1, 2, 3, and 4. The Ocho is supplying some funny stuff, man. Funny stuff. That'll get us out of here, Patrick. You have yourself a great weekend. We'll get back together on Monday here on the Young and Norvelle Show, a full week, and it'll be rocking and rolling. Olympics will be underway, and, of course, college football closer and the Jags. That'll wrap it up. Folks, have a good, safe weekend. We'll see you Monday.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. BRIX JAX Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at BRIX JAX Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at BRIX JAX Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage. It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor, the meat, the love, the community. Our community. Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.